This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Vet Candy's podcast and other news, a podcast to expand your idea of what is impacting the veterinary world, veterinarians, and all animal care professionals as humans. We are your co-hosts, Dr. Jen
and Dr. Jason Chatfield.
If you are not yet a Vet Candy subscriber,
why not?
Subscribe for free today at myvetcandy.com. You can also sound off, send us something nice. Just let us know how you enjoy the podcast at jen@myvetcandy.com
or jason@myvetcandy.com.
And our topic today is helping animals during the coronavirus pandemic.
In other news, animals around the globe still need our help.
Yeah. So what's interesting, because, I guess we're in day 6 or 7 since the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 or SARS coronavirus 2.
Kind of feels like day 300, but yeah, it's probably day 6, but it certainly feels like day, 7 million.
Yeah, but it's only in America. Wait, we should qualify that for our international listeners. Here in the Candyverse, in America, it feels like day 300, but it's only like day 7 or 8 for us of the real crackdown. So animals need our help. Did you know that?
Well, it's my profession, so of course I knew that. But we're not talking about it a lot, right? Because right or wrong, we're focused on ourselves, right? Let's take care of our species and not worry about anything else first.
That's right. We're being incredibly speciesist.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Terrible of us.
Yeah, we're prejudiced towards our
own kind.
Yes, exactly, towards our own species. So we're trying to save the humans, but life goes on. The world keeps spinning, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I'm super stoked today. Do you remember, Dr. Jason, we had our friend Luke Gamble, Dr. Luke.
Luke! How could I forget Luke Gamble? Who could forget Luke Gamble? Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, but I will say, Luke, we are not your siblings. So yeah, Luke Gamble was on, and he's an incredible superhero because he started a couple of really effective, productive global charities, right? And so we focused on Mission Rabies last time,
right? And
the Newshounds. You guys will remember if you listen to that podcast how he competed with Jason talking about beard or no beard, and
I think everything devolved into some sort of competition, right? So I don't know, whatever. It was great fun, mainly because I won all of them. Other than that, as I remember it. So
it devolved into such competition that Luke could be like an honorary American because he was competitive about everything, right? So anyway, but what we didn't talk about was his even larger. I think it's larger. We'll get the record set straight, but his kind of an umbrella charity called Worldwide Veterinary Services. Yeah. And so today we actually have, one of the folks who works, I'll say behind the scenes, propping Luke up from behind the scenes and working with the charity. We have Lulu Peddle with us. Hey, welcome to the podcast, Lulu.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Oh, Jason, do you hear that?
I know. Why do you invite all these folks from across the pond? They just sound better than us. Like people are going to be like, be quiet, let them talk. And as we should.
I know, Lulu, you already sound like you're a rocket scientist to us Americans, right?
I'm definitely not, but, just a different accent.
Yes, but what you are actually is a veterinary nurse.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. I've been a veterinary nurse and been working with Luke now for over 15 years.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry. It's great. It's great.
You're one tough cookie. That's all I know. Yeah. So I mentioned the Worldwide Veterinary Services, that you work with that arm of the charity, and you work on a very specific program, which I find ingenious. And I wish I had thought of something this clever, but I'm going to get the name wrong, but it's not the parcel program, but it's
kind of a parcel appeal. It's where we're reaching out to charities overseas, the supported charities of ours, that we're basically using supplies that we can get here and sending them out to our supported charities overseas to reach animals where help's needed most and is not available.
Okay, so you have to speak like in less lofty terms for me, mostly for Jason, but for me. And so, you're in charge of the veterinary supplies come in. You get those from supportive partners that support you, your charity, and then you package them up, as we say in America,
Yep.
into a parcel that you say in the UK.
Yep.
Send them to places where they may or may not be readily available for veterinary care. Is that right?
Like where? Like where's one place you send stuff?
Well, I sent it all over the place. I sent to 66 different countries last year.
Oh, yeah. So that's all over.
Yeah. So, and we reached over 200 charities, generally send over 75 parcels a month. And I think last year was just short of 1,200 over the course of the year.
Oh,
and yeah, each of those are 2 kilogram airmail parcels. Basically, the supplies that come into us, it helps kind of places here as well. We've got wholesalers that end up really sadly disposing of equipment or medication that can still otherwise be used. It's still within its expiry date, but they may have changed their packaging or over ordered, and they send it to me. I then basically look at our supported charities and see where it's needed, and then we send out the parcels.
You can't use the stuff when it changes the packaging. You just got to get rid of the old stuff and use the new packaging, right? The label's got to be, can't have the old package on there. That's terrible. But that's great. So they throw it away, and you rescue for lack of a better term, the drugs, the supplies, and send them on. The people don't care what it looks like so long as it works.
Exactly, and it's going to places where there's, in some places there literally is no medication at all. And so we're wanting to get it to vets and refuges in remote places that otherwise can't get these supplies.
Mm-hmm. And so what type of supplies are we talking about? Because right now I'm thinking like, you mean they don't have like paper towels? They don't have gauze, or they don't have like, enrofloxacin, Baytril? What are you sending?
I mean, it's really varied. Some of the biggest requests are for what we would see as really basic supplies, like flea and tick treatment. And you'd think that's readily available everywhere, but it's not. We are sending them for their day-to-day work, but also in case of emergency or kind of where there's been war zones, or if there's been kind of natural disasters, we can also put together almost an emergency response to those. But day to day, a lot of it is flea and tick treatment, pain relief, anti-inflammatories and antibiotics. We are restricted on what we can send just because of the veterinary regulations within our country, and also the transportation of them. Actually, it's quite often the most basic supplies that make the biggest difference.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting. And so are you sending these to veterinarians in those countries? Or I guess in some countries, they're not so worried about regulation of veterinary medicine, right? Like in a war-torn country, they just need this.
Yeah, I think that you're right. In a lot of the countries that we are sending to, they're not restricted by regulations, but as a charity ourselves, we want to protect the work we do, and we also need to stick to regulations within our country. Therefore, we do make sure that the charities are registered. We find out the details of the vet working there or the vet working with the animals. There are certain supplies, consumables, such as cotton wool, dressings, bandaging, that actually don't need a vet for you to be able to send them. But any prescription-only medicines, we must send those to a registered vet.
Yeah, registered to a vet, yeah. So super, super cool. So are you sending more out with this pandemic situation going on? Has this become a bigger deal for you guys? Or are you working overtime to help? Like we mentioned earlier, we're not talking too much about the pets, but they're probably suffering, as well, especially with supply chain being kind of all kinds of, talk about being screwed up and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important to recognise that we're all facing a challenge at the moment with this pandemic, but it's also really important that the animals don't suffer as a result of us concentrating a bit more on the human race at this time. And so I think we do need to carry on and supporting as best we can. Unfortunately, at this time, we do like to get volunteers out to a lot of our supported places, obviously with planes grounded and changes in border restrictions and not wanting to kind of increase the spread of the virus. We basically got vets grounded at the moment. Because of that, we really want to kind of push doing what we can. And at the moment, the best we can do is get the supplies out to the vets that are already there.
Hey, Jason, did you hear that a while ago? Did you catch it?
Did I catch what? I hope I don't catch anything down here, but what are you talking about?
But wait. What Lulu said, it was, so what are we, like 5 minutes in, 10 minutes into a podcast? And our British guest said that we must carry on.
Yes, carry on.
She didn't say keep calm, but she said carry on. Oh, classically British. So Lulu, I think we should make the point that right now, we're not saying that in the face of this COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, that they're treating the animals for coronavirus. That's not what we're saying. Because to date, I'm going to say one more time, to date, we don't have any evidence that companion animals like dogs and cats or horses or cattle or any other animal except bats can transmit the virus to humans, and the unknown at this date intermediate host for the coronavirus that is yet to be named. So it's not like you're sending supplies to treat the animals for coronavirus. You're sending supplies to continue to maintain a standard of care for those animals, despite the world being in a lockdown because of a pandemic, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think at the moment, we all are slightly in uncertain times with this pandemic. But I think it's really important that the work is continued with these animals. I think animal welfare still needs to be a priority, despite us having to change a lot in our daily lives. And therefore, really, yes, we're just continuing to supply these charities. I think there is going to be increased demand for these parcels and supplies. And that's primarily going to be because of disruptions in chains of deliveries otherwise within the country. And also the vets that are, we're not able.
I'm surprised there hasn't been, or maybe you did say there was, but there hasn't been an increase in demand for your service, because your service is unique and kind of is one way they can kind of skirt and get around all the restrictions that are, never ever seen this before. We're in a worldwide situation. So it's really difficult to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really important for us also to be able to, let them know that we are still available and we are still able to offer the help that we always have.
Can you tell us a little bit about, because some of our listeners, the Newshounds and the Candyverse, may not be aware. I know they better be aware of Mission Rabies, but they may not be aware of Worldwide Veterinary Services, WVS. So tell us about that broader charity.
So WVS was set up by Luke Gamble, who is our CEO, as you mentioned before, and Mission Rabies is the sister charity to WVS. It was actually set up when Luke and I were working together back many years ago. Was first founded.
We apologize for your lot in life.
So good. And that was in 2003, and it was basically with the aim to improve animal welfare. We've set up training centres, training vets. The parcel appeal is just a very small section of the work we do,
but an important one, I think, because you can have a veterinarian there all day long. If as a veterinarian, if I'm there with no stuff, it's pretty hard for me to make the magic happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And basically, we just aim to get, as well as the supplies, out to places where they're not readily available. We also aim to get vets, veterinary staff and volunteers also out to some of the more remote areas where no one else can, really.
Yeah. And you mentioned that, we said you're a veterinary nurse, and you just informed us that you actually met and started working with Luke in practice. And yes. So did you work in small animal practice, large animal, mixed?
So when we first started working together, I was a trainee, and so I was 17, so I was quite young. We were a vet nurse team in a mixed animal practice. We both actually left that practice on the same day. new to me being part of Luke's next venture, he then set up a traditional mixed animal practice here in Dorset, at which point I became his head nurse, and then I went on to be the practice manager.
Were you supposed to manage Luke?
No.
There's no way you could get paid enough for that job.
I'd known him long enough. So yeah, I then practice managed. I took a bit of time out with my family, and when I tried to take a career break, thinking that was the best thing for me. It lasted all of 6 weeks when I realised that I couldn't leave the veterinary world. And at that point, I became part of the team at WVS. But obviously, I'd always had WVS in my sights because it was founded at that first practice we worked together. And so I'd always kind of known what was going on. I'd volunteered on trips. But yeah.
Wow. So you volunteered to go into the field. And so where did you go?
Well, last year, actually, I went to Thailand and Laos. So I went to our international training centre in Thailand just to see how things were going there. And then also went to one of our supported elephant charities. And then when I was in Laos, I worked with some moon bears at a place there. And we also basically wanted to manage I basically project managed in Laos. Basically, there was an elephant that is kept it in good conditions during the day with a mahout, free to roam, and was doing really great. But unfortunately, at night was being chained up just because they didn't have the ability to contain her. And so we set about setting up a project to be able to build a big fence around a huge island that has basically allowed her to be chain free day and night. And that's just coming to an end now. So yeah, she's going to be chain free. Yeah.
How wonderful is that?
Yeah, amazing. Really good.
Yeah. And the fact that you so when you're putting these packages together, do you determine what goes in the box based on where it's going?
Yes, I do. There is a certain amount I will send out kind of a general dispatch news. So if I've got a lot of supplies of one item, I will send out to our supported charities, seeing who's in need, and then send out bulk orders like that. But also on a one-to-one basis, I spend a lot of my time just keeping in contact with our charities. So I know their needs. I have their wish lists. If something comes up that I think, actually, I remember so-and-so needed that, then I put that together. But it was like
a pull, like it truly, rather than a push, it's a pull of the supplies into the area by the people in the local area that you're sending it to, rather than you pushing what you think they need.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important that we're sending, we're not sending parcels that they don't want or are not going to use. Yeah. I think, just sending out bulk supplies isn't the way to go about it. We need to send out what is essential to each individual supported charity. And that is going to vary dependent on country, the species they're treating, how many they've got in, whether they're vets, whether they're just volunteers, whether they're treating community animals. There's a lot of different factors that really kind of you need to take into account.
Wow.
It seems a bit labor intensive.
I know.
Super labor intensive. Yes, I'm back. I know I surprised you. I disappeared. But I'm back. Here I am. Yay. But that does seem super labor intensive.
Yes. I think it's just important to keep it quite personal and to be able to really get to know those charities and the people that are at the forefront of working and how in those areas and helping those animals. And I'd much rather keep it that way.
Yeah.
Really.
So
that's the absolute right way to do it. 100%. Send them only what they need. Otherwise, you're getting partial stuff that other people don't want, sending it to more people who don't want the same stuff. That's like a big waste of time. So it just seems labor intensive. I'm glad you guys are able to do that. It's really good.
Yeah, so it does sound labor intensive. And you mentioned a family earlier, and she was working as a veterinary nurse. So on the other side of this break, News Hounds, we're going to find out, how is this woman managing all of this and the personal contacts with the charities in the field and the couple of international trips and the family. Like, I'm just, my mind is already boggled. So stay with us. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll see you on the other side.
Vet Candy makes your life easier with scientific news, clinical updates, and expert lifestyle tips. Sign up for free at myvetcandy.com and start making your life sweeter.
Oh, sure. It's all fun and games until someone ends up in a cone. That's right. We are animals. Deal with it. Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Okay, welcome back, where we are with Lulu Peddle, and she does have that lovely British accent, and she's with Worldwide Veterinary Services and their Parcel Appeal program, and she's managing that. She's a veterinary nurse. We've discovered that as well, and she has a family of some kind because she mentioned that. So already, I'm thinking your calendar is full. Like, what all are you managing on a daily basis, Lulu?
I think, from a parenting point of view, once you've got young children, you do learn to juggle quite well. So it was really important to me to still be involved with animal work. And as I said earlier, I did think, I'll take a career break because I need to concentrate on my family. And as much as I do concentrate on my family, I took 6 weeks off and was like, I can't go without working in the veterinary world. And so I immediately came back, and that's when I came to the charity. I am really lucky that I'm in a position that my work is quite flexible. I can keep in contact with my charities from home as well as at work, and that doesn't worry me that there's not a kind of, some people don't like that boundary to be crossed, whereas I'm happy to be on my laptop at home. So yeah, I think I'm really lucky to be able to fit it all in, really.
So right now, during the pandemic, because I know we have a lot of restrictions happening in the United States for people, with social distancing being encouraged, if not imposed, in some areas of the country. What's going on there in the UK? Has it impacted your daily life?
I think it probably is impacting most people's daily life. I personally am a really laid back person, and I think dependent on your character, depends on how you deal with this kind of pandemic that's going on. Basically, they've just closed the schools as of today. Children will be home as of today. I think one of the biggest things is there's no time scale on these things. So we've all been told our children are home with us, but we've no idea how long for. Some say till after the Easter break. Some say they won't be back till next September. That naturally is having quite a knock-on effect on workforces. They are trying to keep key workers' children within school, and so that should help really with regards to the NHS and the pressure that's on them at the moment. I think as of today, they've just closed all of the pubs. So just to really...
you said that with such a sorrowful face. Like, that was really hard on you. And now we know how you manage everything.
Do we need to know something?
No, it's all good. I think when British people have been told that we need to, kind of have social distancing, some people still quite fancied going to the pub. And so now they've just put that ban in place to help reduce that. And I think it's a case of just protecting everyone, really. There's vulnerable people out there that are much more at risk than the likes of myself. And I think we have to look out for each other as a community. We should be looking out for our elderly neighbours that can't, otherwise get out at the moment, and perhaps can't get the supplies they need either.
Yeah, that's sort of what happened over here. They closed the schools, then a few days later they closed the restaurants, and then very lastly they said you can't go to I don't know what a pub is, but we have where you go get alcoholic beverages, and so you can't go to the bars here and hang out close to your buddies. So that's sort of the same deal. So
yeah, it's the same.
Grocery stores, are your grocery stores bare?
So our grocery stores are fairly bare. The first thing to disappear, you'd have thought it was a gastric bug. Toilet rolls became a major issue here in the UK.
Makes no sense.
Right? Yeah, literally. Crazy. Toilet rolls and hand sanitizer. If you've got a cupboard full of those, then you could be a millionaire next week.
Yeah. Well, hand sanitizer almost makes sense if we're being clean, but I still can't really understand the worldwide phenomenon that is go get the toilet paper as fast as you can because it's going out of style. I don't understand it, but it's happening. So
no, I don't understand it either. And I think, we need to be sensible. I think, we can get a bit selfish over these things. And there are definitely some people out there that, not thinking about others when it comes to grocery shopping.
So you didn't stockpile some? You're not having a side hustle where you're selling toilet paper out the back door or anything like that?
Definitely not. And as I said earlier, I'm a really chilled out kind of character. So I've not even done this panic buying. I mean, those that have done this stockpiling will probably be laughing at me in a couple of weeks' time when I'm, just eating rice. But
There's worse things. At least you have rice to eat, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I do want to mention at least once, probably at least 3 times, but at least once now, we're going to put up a link along with this podcast to the parcel. I keep wanting to call it parcel program, but it's not that. It's the parcel.
Well, it's veterinary aid, it's a parcel appeal that we've put in place really, because just with the increased need for us to send these supplies and the fact that at the moment, really sadly, we feel kind of restrained in that we can't send help in other ways and we can't send the teams out that we want to. We really want to concentrate on what we can do, and what we can do is get these veterinary parcel aids out to our supported charities. And so that's what we're
I just love that. Jason, wouldn't you love to receive a veterinary parcel aid?
I would. I was going to say, you may feel like you're doing, it's what the only thing you can do, but the folks that are getting it are super happy. And I would love to get one. That'd be great. Although it's kind of, I'm not really need anything, so don't waste your time sending me stuff. But it's really cool.
It would just be lovely to say,
yes.
And today I received my veterinary parcel aid.
Yes, that's great.
I love it. But if people want to contribute monetarily, I believe that is, but they can find out how they can support the parcel appeal and sending out the veterinary parcel aids at go.wvs.org.uk/parcels. And we'll put that link up, though. Don't try to write it down, listeners. We'll put it up. You'll find it on the episode notes, I think is what they call that page. So we'll have that for you there. Otherwise, if you forget, you can likely just go to the WVS homepage, wvs.org.uk, I think, and find the information there. So, or
you could just rewind the podcast, a whole bunch of times and listen to it again and again and again. That's also another option. I'm just saying.
It is, Jason. Yes, I forget about that. Yep. Yeah.
Always an option.
Always an option. But Lulu, is there something what is the thing that you wish that people most understood about the efforts and the programs that WVS has? What do you wish that every single person would know?
I think it's just the appreciation that the countries we're in, myself and yourselves, I would class us as very fortunate from a animal welfare and veterinary point of view. And I think even working within the charity, my eyes weren't fully opened to some of the scenes and situations that you come across in other less fortunate places. I think there's still a lot of education to be done over animal welfare in some of these countries. And even in the countries where they do understand and there is help available, there is just not there's not the resources that we have here. So even with the best will in the world, and I get these stories and I'm humbled by them, and these people that are trying to do their absolute best, but they just haven't got the resources. And I think being able to provide that and realizing that actually there is a distinct lack of that elsewhere, I just think is massively important.
Oh my gosh. How inspirational was that?
Seriously, I'm like, I feel terrible because we should feel lucky where we're there for a lot of reasons. And sometimes we forget, right? So it's just great. We should click on that link and do what we can to help. That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. I feel like a super schlep now. I'm doing nothing.
You are one, but it's okay.
Like, what am I doing? So anyhow, if you too feel like a schlep, check out the website that we're putting on there and get involved and help. Now we're going to move to what our regular news hounds might recognize as the content-free and game portion of the podcast. And so we did give our guests a little bit of notice
For the first time ever.
The first time ever.
Usually Dr. Jen doesn't even tell me. She just pops this game on us and we're just looking at her like, you crazy lady, we don't want to do this.
That's right. So anyway, so if you like our games, you can email me. And if you don't like them, well, you could keep it to yourself.
That's correct.
So we're going to play a game. So we're going to ask Lulu if she knows the meaning of some American terms. And she is going to ask us if we know the meaning of some British terms. Okay. And we'll see who wins. Now, if you have a term that you think is of great interest, then you can email it to us at jen@myvetcandy.com. And if we pick yours and we share your term and its meaning, whether it's American or British, and we share it on a future episode, we're going to send you some Vet Candy swag. That's right. Everybody loves some swag. So if we don't mention your favorite British or American term, hey, send it to us. Send it to us and we'll send you some swag if we pick it. Okay. Are you ready, Lulu?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So I'm going to
ready. I'm not ready.
Jason's not ready? You don't have to. Okay. So the first one I'm going to ask you about is, do you know what a touchdown is?
Touchdown. Now, I think it was something to do with sport.
Yes.
Okay. So I think here it might be related to rugby, but I'm going for American football.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Do you know how many points it's worth?
How many points? Let's go for 3.
Close.
Well, but not
quite. But let's call it halfway there.
Halfway there.
Okay. Okay. Definitely 6 then.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Okay, good. Okay, so now what do you have for us? What's a British term? Ask us. I'm ready. We watch a lot of movies, Lulu, and a lot of TV.
Okay. Let's go for. So, what do you think spend a penny means?
I think it means to spend a penny.
I'm like,
at the shops.
I don't have any idea.
Oh, wait. Is it like a dime store? Is it like a no?
A thrift store? No,
I'm afraid not.
You know what? Don't say. Use it in a sentence.
Yeah, use it in a sentence.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really gonna have to leave this podcast now to go and spend a penny.
Oh, to go shopping, right?
No.
That's what I would have thought. Go shopping.
What is it? What does it mean?
Hold on.
It's to go to
I think it's something totally different, right? It's not even close.
To the toilet?
To the toilet.
Yeah. I think it comes back to when you used to, there's still occasionally in like railway stations, you have to actually put a little bit of money in to get to the turnstile to go into the toilets.
That's excellent.
So yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
But actually I'm fine. I don't need to spend a penny.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that.
Oh my gosh! I mean, Jason, how many Doctor Who episodes have you watched and you've never heard that phrase?
Ton, and I don't believe I've heard of that. So
okay, do you have a phrase or colloquialism you want to ask if Lulu knows?
I have a distinctly American one that dates back to history. We'll see. This may bring up a sore subject between us, but we'll see. I need your John Hancock, please.
Oh,
You have what? Sorry.
I'm going to use it in a sentence, right? Okay, so if I'm asking for your John Hancock, what would I be asking you for, Lulu?
I think you are asking me for my signature.
Very good. I'm very proud that you know that. You're killing us. You're 2-0 here. No, 2-0. We didn't get any right.
That's right. Okay.
I thought I would get you on that one. That's very uniquely American on that one.
Okay. Go ahead now.
I'm gonna go.
Brass monkeys.
What? Cross monkeys?
Brass monkeys. It's brass monkeys.
Listen, that's a song by the Beastie Boys. Is that it?
No, this is a phrase as such. I'll put it in context.
Okay.
You need to wear a coat today. It's brass monkeys.
It's raining.
Close.
Cold.
It's cold. Yeah, it's freezing. It's brass monkeys.
Cool. I'm going to use all of these tomorrow. I'll never use that one, but I'm going to use it. I think that's fantastic.
Brass monkeys.
Brass monkeys.
Not the funky monkey, but the brass monkey.
Definitely brass monkeys. It's brass monkeys today.
Okay. Here is the final American one for you. Ready?
Okay.
because then I'm going to ask you about royal news. Okay, so American one is, okay, see a man about a horse.
Oh, see, we have see a man about a dog.
Oh, we have see a man about a horse. Like, excuse me, I've got to go see a man about a horse.
It means you're just going to go and speak to somebody about something that you don't necessarily want the other person to know. It's like, I'm going for a little private chat. You know, if you were going to, go and talk to someone about something, you'd go and see a man about a dog in the UK.
But see a man about a horse does not mean that in the United States.
Oh.
What does a horse mean, Dr. Jen?
It means I'm going to go spend a penny.
That's right.
How does it?
How do you like that, Lulu?
Horse.
I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't ask to explain any of it. We just use them. Go ahead and explain brass monkey to us, all right?
Yeah. Okay, so
I see a man about a dog.
No. Okay. All right. So let's see. So you got one more. Let's see.
Okay,
And
what am I going to go for?
we're 0 for 2.
I'm going to go for hunky dory.
Oh, everything's great. Hunky dory.
Yeah.
Good. We'll end on a one that's shared.
Yeah, because we say the same thing. We say, everything's hunky dory.
That's hunky dory.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. Okay, so now next cultural question, potentially offensive, but I'm asking it. So, you guys have an American, well, she used to be a princess. I don't think she is now, right? But so who do you like better, Meghan or Kate?
Oh, that's quite a tricky one.
Yeah.
I'm not myself, and it's obviously a very personal, everybody's got a different opinion over this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had Brexit and Mexit.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
I actually think if they want to part and they want to have a more normal life, as they say, outside of royal duties, then I think fair enough to them actually to be able to stand up, make that decision. And I think fair play to them. I think, he probably realizes he's not high up the list of
like 7th or something.
Yeah, exactly. And so then, if he doesn't want to be involved in as many duties as he is, and he wants to concentrate on his family, then I think, to be fair, he's always been a bit of a rebel of the royal family. And I quite like that about him. And yeah, I'm not offended by it at all.
Awesome. That's an excellent answer. I love it. Okay.
Is it true that you guys over across the pond spend all your days and nights worrying about what's happening with the royal family? Because us Americans, we think that you guys, all you do is read about it, talk about it, worry about it. Is that true? Is that fact or fiction on that one?
Yeah.
I think for some people, it probably would be fact, if I'm honest.
Lulu, for you, I'm talking for you. You consume that like no one's business.
For me, I don't lose sleep over what the royal family is up to, if I'm honest. That's definitely not something that makes me lose sleep.
Busy packing parcels.
Yeah,
That's
I'm too
right.
busy. Yeah.
Packing parcels to send veterinary aid parcels.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely higher up the priority list for me.
Can you say it one more time? Say veterinary aid parcel.
Veterinary aid parcel.
Veterinary.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, this has been so fantastic. I think we really love what Worldwide Veterinary Service and Mission Rabies and you and Dr. Luke Gamble, our friend, we tease him incessantly, but we love him here at Vet Candy. We really, really are proud that veterinarians are doing that kind of work, proud that the veterinary profession is engaged at that level, and so, so happy to meet you and support the work that you're doing as well. It's just incredible.
Thank
Really
you very
good
much.
stuff.
It's really great to have your support. And we really, really appreciate you speaking to us.
Yeah. And so everyone go to the link. You'll find it in the episode notes, or you can go to go.wvs.org.uk/parcels if you want to see how you can get involved and support the veterinary aid parcels. And Lulu can pack up a box with your help to send to an area that is particularly hard hit by the isolation that's come about subsequent to the pandemic coronavirus. So once again, Lulu, thank you so very much for joining us here on In Other News.
Thank you very much.
Yep, and enlightening us and expanding our horizons a little bit with Spending a Penny. And so that is all that we have for you guys today from In Other News. I'm Dr. Jen, coming to you from the farm.
And I'm Dr. Jason, coming to you from the sauna.
And we'll catch you next time on In Other News.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.